The year is 878 AD, a map of England stained black with conquest. The Viking great heathen army has swallowed the kingdoms. Only Wessex remains. At Chippenham, the royal villa glows warm against the January snow. A sanctuary of peace. Inside, King Alfred celebrates the 12th night. Laughter and ale flow, masking the silent approach of doom. Outside, Guthrum waits, a predator in the snow. He signals and the shadows come alive with axe and malice. The doors shatter. Peace ends in a heartbeat. The berserkers rush in, bringing winter into the hall. Guthrum walks through the carnage, calm, cold, a warlord claiming his prize, his eyes reflecting the burning hall. Alfred is dragged away, a king without a crown, fleeing into the night as his kingdom burns behind him. They run through the frozen forest, hunted like animals. The sound of crunching snow is the only rhythm of survival. He stops, looking back at the orange glow of Chippenham. His tears streak the soot on his face. Total loss. The landscape shifts to the dismal Somerset levels, a wetlands of mist and despair where hope comes to die. Alfred wades waist deep, mud sucks at his boots. He is no longer a monarch, but a fugitive in his own land. Every step is a struggle against the bog. The earth itself seems to conspire against him. A Thunny, a muddy island of refuge. A dilapidated hut becomes the capital of the last English kingdom. Inside, the king sits broken, head in hands, the weight of failure crushing him in the damp dark. Meanwhile, Guthrum feasts, sitting on Alfred's throne, eating Alfred's food. The arrogance of the conqueror. He stabs the map. Wessex is his, or so he thinks. Alfred watches a spider. It falls, it climbs, it falls again. Persistence in the face of gravity. A spark returns. He stands up. If the spider can climb, so can he. The king of the swamp is born. He sharpens a spear, stone on metal. The sound of resistance begins in the silence of the marsh. Dawn over the levels. The fog hides the reeds. Nature provides the perfect cover for a guerrilla war. A Viking patrol glides by. Bored, annoyed, unaware they are being watched by the mud itself. Attack. Archers rise from the water. Arrows fly at point-blank range. The swamp strikes back. Hand to hand in the muck, Alfred fights dirty. The terrain is his ally, the mud his weapon. They vanish, hit and run, leaving only an empty boat and fear behind. Guthrum laughs it off. Rats in the swamp. He does not see the rising tide. Alfred plans. Ignoring the burning cakes, his mind is on the map. Strategy consumes him. He hands a ring to a runner. Egbert's stone, 7th week after Easter. The call to arms is sent. Runners sprint through the forests. The word spreads like wildfire through the veins of Wessex. At a forge, a smith sees the ring. He closes the door. The conspiracy of hope begins. Weapons are revealed. Hidden in hay, the Fyrd is arming. The people are ready. A farmer unearths a sword. The land itself is giving up its iron for the fight. Winter turns to spring. Flowers bloom. The ice melts, and the king emerges. Alfred steps onto dry land. Clean-shaven, armored. The fugitive is gone. The king returns. They march, boots on Roman roads, a rhythm of reclamation. From the air, streams of men converge, a river of steel flowing towards destiny. Guthrum senses it, the silence of the birds. A storm is gathering on the horizon. At Egbert's stone, Alfred climbs the hill. He looks down and his breath catches. Thousands. Banners of the shires flutter. They waited for him. They believed. A roar erupts, spears raised. The king is back, and Wessex answers the call. Today, we take back our home. Calm authorities stealing the hearts of farmers turned warriors. The march to Edington. Dust rises like a golden haze around the army of the last kingdom. They take the ridge, securing the high ground, a tactical masterstroke before the first blow. Guthrum spills his ale. He looks up. The surprise is absolute. The rats have become wolves. Tactical view. Blue lines hold the ridge. Red lines swarm from below. The trap is set. Vikings bang their shields. A terrifying rhythm of war marching uphill. Shield wall. The order locks them together. Wood overlaps wood. A fortress of men. Faces tense. Sweat beads. The moment before impact stretches into eternity. They charge. The gap closes. Through the shields, the enemy rushes in. Impact. The lines collide. The physics of war crushed bone and spirit. The wall bends but holds. The push of pike, a scrum of death. Grunting, shoving, surviving in the crush. A spear thrusts, precision amidst the chaos, finding the gap in the armor. Guthrum smashes a shield, frustrated as another takes its place. The wall repairs itself. Alfred shouts, "Hold!" He is the anchor, pushing men back into the line. Inside the helmet, vision narrows, breath fogs the metal. The world is only enemies. From above, tectonic plates grinding, chaos against discipline. The Saxon line is a straight edge of order. Boots slip in blood. A hand reaches out. A boot stomps down. No mercy on the ground. Hours pass. The sun moves. Exhaustion sets in. A test of endurance as much as skill. A berserker leaps, caught on spears. Heroism fails against the formation. Alfred sees it. A waver. Push. The tide begins to turn. The Viking line fragments. Gaps appear. The cohesion dissolves into panic. The advance. The wall opens. The avalanche descends. Guthrum tries to rally, but panic is contagious. His own men push him back. The rout. A disorderly mob fleeing to Chippenham. The hunt begins. Weapons dropped. The grass is littered with the tools of a failed conquest. The gates slammed shut. Stragglers are cut down. Safety is inches away but unreachable. Alfred halts. He does not assault the walls. He waits. Control and discipline win the day. Guthrum looks down. Trapped in the fortress he stole. The tables have turned. Scorched earth. The food supply is driven away. Alfred starves the wolf in his den. Night fires. A ring of light ensures no escape. The noose tightens. Day 3. The grain barrel is empty. Dust and hunger. Drinking mud. Desperation inside while the Saxons feast outside. Alfred prays, thanking God for the victory, a pious king in a brutal war. Day 10. Mutiny brews. Vikings cannot starve. Guthrum is defeated. He looks out and he sees the discipline. He respects the king he once hunted. Day 14. The gates open. A white shield is raised. Guthrum walks out, gaunt and unarmed. The tension is thick as fog. He offers his sword, hilt first. The war is over. Aller Church. Spring green surrounds the place of peace. Guthrum strips his armor, laying down Thor's hammer, leaving the old gods dressed in white, the rough warrior clothed in peace. Alfred stands as godfather, the refined king and the Viking warlord bound by ritual. Baptism. Water washes away the pagan. He accepts his fate. A new name, Athelstan. Alfred smiles. Victory without blood. Outside, soldiers trade food. The tension breaks into curiosity. The feast at Wedmore. Drinking together. Enemies become neighbors. The treaty. Seals pressed into wax. The deal is sealed in red. The map changes. A line drawn across England. The Danelaw is born. Guthrum rides away, a nod of respect. He kept his word. In East Anglia, he rules as a Christian king. The transformation is complete. Back in Wessex, Alfred works, drawing walls around towns. The Berg system. Construction begins. Stone foundations rise, rebuilding the kingdom. The Royal Navy is born. Larger ships to counter the raiders. Visionary. Education. Books translated. Wisdom is the new weapon. Winchester bustles. A beacon of civilization in a dark age. The People's King walks the streets. Golden hour shines on a secure land. Raids are repelled. The defense system works. The walls hold. The breaker of shields. The Dane axe rotates in the void. Lethal beauty. Macro rust. Layers of steel. History in detail. Impact test. Splitting lime wood. Physics of destruction. The spear. A hedge of thorns pointing at the enemy. Comparison. Swing versus thrust. Reach and speed matter. The round shield exploded. Layers of defense. The boss has a weapon. Shield wall mechanics. Blue dots hold the line. Tactics visualized. Chainmail. Heavy, expensive protection of the Jarl. The Gambeson. Fabric stopping arrows. The armor of the poor proving its worth. The Sikhs. The brutal knife for the final grapple. Naval tech. The shallow draft of the longship allowed invasion. Alfred's County. Heavy ships built for ramming. Engineering evolution. The Burgle Hidage. A web of safety across Wessex. Network visualization. Earth and timber. Simple walls that stop the raiders. The Ferd mobilization speed. Alfred's logistical genius. The Raven Banner. Belief in fate flapping in the wind. The Cross. Fighting for the soul of the land. healed wounds, the resilience of the ancient warrior. Rex Anglo, the propaganda of currency. Back to reality, Green Hills of Wessex. Winchester construction, Hammer's Ring, progress. The map, 33 forts light up, safety within a day's march. Digging the moat, sweat and mud, building their own protection. Market prosperity, safety creates economy. The royal court, justice dispensed by the king. The Doom Book, English law written in English ink. The weak shall not be crushed, hope in the eyes of the commoner.
I have reviewed the scroll. The boundary stands as written.
Schools, boys learning to read. Education reform. Alfred translates.
The weak
Intellectual
shall not
hunger
be crushed
by candlelight.
the strong.
The Alfred Jewel, Alfred ordered me made. Art and power. Books spread. Knowledge moves across the map. Contrast. The oral tradition of the Vikings versus the literacy of Wessex. London reborn. Alfred rides into the ruins to rebuild. Clearing Roman walls. Fusion of old and new. London Bridge, uniting the Anglo and Saxon peoples. Ethelflaed, the daughter reads a map. Intelligence shines. Edward practices swordplay. The legacy is secured. Civilized dinner, refined manners in the court. Pain. Alfred hides his illness. Vulnerability of the king. Prayer. Grant me time. Winchester, 899. The deathbed. The sword passed. Finish it. Last breath, the candle dies. Funeral, silent rain,
My work
and
is
bowed
unfinished.
heads.
Finish it.
Edward crowned, a warrior king takes the helm. Ethelflaed, the Iron Lady of Nicaea in armor. Pincer movement. Brother and sister push north and east. Battle of Tettenhall. Strategic brilliance traps the Vikings. Aggressive expansion. Using forts as bases. She negotiates, looking down on Viking leaders with respect and fear. Death of a sister. Edward mourns by her tomb. Mercia absorbed. Unification progresses. Edward dies, leaving a stable kingdom. Enter Athelstan. The Golden Age begins. Marching north, occupying York without burning it. Holding court, kings bow to the first king of the English. Enemies gather, the great alliance forms in the dark. Ominous clouds, the final test approaches. Burden of war, praying before the battle.
Gotcha!
937 AD, the Great Battle. Brunber at dawn, two massive armies on the moor. The barbarian horde, Vikings, Scots, and Welsh united. Athelstan stands regal, golden crown on helmet, hero shot. Prince Edmund, Brotherhood of Wessex. The charge, ground trembling scream. Impact, axes smash shields, visceral chaos. Edmund fights like a lion, heir to Alfred. Cavalry flank, a shock to the enemy line. Panic spreads, the coalition buckles. Pursuit, bodies litter the field, grim reality. Sunset, carrion bird circle. Embrace, United Kingdom born in blood. Never was there more slaughter. Winchester triumph. Athelstan enters as emperor. Holy relics. England is a European power. Rex Todius Britannia, King of all Britain. Reflection. Seeing Alfred in the silver. Legacy fulfilled. Death of Athelstan. (939). Peace is fragile. Shadows return, thunder over the North Sea. (978). Gloom rolls in. Ethelred the Unready, nervous and small in the shadows. Malden, the Causeway standoff. Fatal error, allowing the Vikings to cross. Defeat. Danegeld returns, paying the enemy to come back. Gunhilded dies. Swain Forkbird screams for vengeance. 1013. The Great Invasion. Ships breathing fire. Ethelred flees, abandoning his people in disgrace. Edmund Ironside. Resistance rallies. Betrayal. The army crushed. Canute victorious. Treat in death. Canute becomes sole king. Coronation of Canute, a Viking in English robes. North Sea Empire. Canute rules the waves. Seashore legend. Wisdom and humility before God. Peace and integration. Cultures merge. Death of Canute. Empire crumbles. Edward the Confessor. A weak king. A brewing crisis. 3 men watch him die. Hands reach for the crown. The stage is set. 1066. Halley's Comet.
Bad
Omen of
for a
doom.
new king.
Harold Hardrada lands. The last Viking. Stamford Bridge. Surprise attack. Berserker on the bridge, holding back an army. Cheap shot from below. Hardrada dies laughing. The Viking age ends. Victory, but the nightmare continues. The Normans have landed. The Great March South. Physical endurance. William lands. I have grasped England.
I have grasped England with both hands.
Hastings. Shield wall versus Normans. Cavalry charge. Woot. Feigned retreat. The wall breaks. The slaughter. Massacre in the open field. Harold falls. The banner trampled. William stands solemn. Kingdom won. Flower killed. Christmas coronation. Violent beginning. The tapestry. History becomes art. Linguistic shift. Birth of modern culture. Raiders to builders. Wood to stone. Tower of London. Symbol of the unified state. Vikings became Normans. Language merges. Survival of the tongue. Castle landscape. Foundations remain Saxon. Flashback. The struggle summarized. A candle burns. Time passes. Statue of Alfred, eternal defender. Roots wrapped around sword and axe, united in soil. White horse, majestic and timeless. Memory of me and good works. Credits roll on the tapestry. Alfred, Guthrum, Athelstan, Canute, Harold and William.